Hello, my name is Nicole, and thank you so much for taking the time out to listen. Today is a good day to talk about relationships. Yes, I know. It's not Valentine's Day. It's not anything special going on. So what's up with the relationship audio? Well, it's important because one thing that never goes out of season, right, is arguments. And some folks may have just had an argument like maybe a few minutes ago, decided to get on the internet and run away, escape a bit. I don't want to see or hear from her or him. So let me pop on some headphones and let me scroll. And hopefully you have scrolled to the right place and not to the wrong place, which is just one more thing to make your partner get angry about, like somebody's Facebook page, like someone who's, lusting after you or liking you or wanting to be with you. Hopefully you're not doing that. Anyway, there are some phrases that I've heard. I've been on this planet now. I'm starting to feel old. I've been on this planet and I've heard all 7 of these phrases in every relationship. This is crazy. And I'm bringing you all to this particular article because you may have been guilty of saying these things. I know I have at least 2 or 3 of these phrases. And you may have also been the victim of these phrases. The article is entitled The 7 Phrases That Are Ruining Your Relationship. It's on a site called Brides, and it is on msn.com. Wow, I don't even know where to begin. Well, I'm going to just jump right in and say that when you are in the midst of a dispute, there are some things that you say that later on you wish that you hadn't said, right? So you, in so many ways, insult your partner. You blow things out of proportion, possibly. You may end up being a bit difficult to deal with at times because you're going through your share of issues. I mean, hey, we all go through issues. We're not going to always be, bright and chipper and happy all the time as much as we would like to be. So these phrases, though, these are unfortunate phrases that are used when one is trying to communicate, but it just doesn't quite come out right. And now your partner is going off. But I didn't really mean to say what I had meant to say was. So one of the first phrases is, I'm sorry, but. Excuse me? You're sorry about what? Well, I'm sorry that I went out and I, had a good old time hanging out with the boys and everything. And then while I was there, though, there was this female, and that's how come the number ended up in my pocket. And I mean, I'm sorry, but if you would just get your act together, then maybe I wouldn't be out there, getting phone numbers. Oh no, he just messed up. Okay. Giving you some examples. Another phrase. Yeah, well, if you would do your portion around here, I mean, I know what I'm supposed to do. Uh-oh. So you can pretty much guess what the discussion was about. The partner went up to his or her mate and said, this is what I need for you to do. And I'm kind of tired of you, not doing this and not doing that. So, is it possible if you could help me out with, or maybe it didn't go off like that. Maybe the partner didn't say, well, I'm tired of you doing this, that, and the other, right? Instead, it's just, well, do you think you can help out with this? Because, I got a lot of things that I'm doing, or, can we be able to reach a compromise on A, B, and C? Because this is really bothering me, and I really wish, that you could be able to help me out. Well, I don't know. Yeah, well, if you would do your part, because wasn't it just the other day when you said, and then I had to, okay, you see? Now, did it really have to go down like that? But a lot of times disputes end up becoming bigger ones because of certain phrases. Don't you just love communication at times? The next phrase, you always. Oh my goodness. I wish that I could say that I never heard this phrase, but I've heard it with every single person that I have been involved with. It's an exaggeration, my friends. It is never accurate. I don't even know why, whether you're male or female, why you even go there trying to defend yourself, right? I know in the past I've tried to do this sort of thing. It doesn't work, because once that person formulates in their mind that you always do something, now you're focused on defending yourself instead of getting to the resolve, okay, to the thing that's going to just end this discussion. So you always leaving the ketchup out. You know what? You always coming over here bringing something to my attention. I mean, really, you always got something to say. Why don't you just go somewhere? You always accusing me of something. Okay. All that does is, once again, it just puts you in a position where now you got to defend yourself. And then that's going to be another, 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes. Just avoid it. The next phrase is, I'm fine. Now, this one I haven't used, okay? Haven't used it because I always thought it was a joke, really, because, you can see from the way, a person looks, the way you look, what have you, that partner is looking at you. They know you're not fine. So I always thought that ain't nothing but a bold-faced lie, and I'm gonna avoid that one. So no, I don't say I'm fine. Instead, I say, well, this is the way I feel. And those of you all who have been listening to my messages long enough, I'm that kind of person. I'm going to tell my true feelings. I'm not going to hide them. So anyway, I'm fine. That's the worst thing that you can say too, because your partner knows you're lying. Now, at some point, they might even say, you know what? You're just a liar. What do you mean? What do you mean? I am fine. No, you're not. You might be fine in the way that you look, sweetheart, but you're not fine. You got issue with me. You got attitude. What's wrong? What's wrong? What did I say this time? What did I do this time? Sometimes I can hear the arguments in my head as I'm doing this message. It's interesting, but it's not arguments that I had back in the day. It's actually hearing stuff that's going on, and it's with my network. Okay. The Lord, he gives me that gift sometimes. I'm glad though that it shuts off, because I don't want to go to bed at night or walk around thinking about you guys like that. That's your personal lives. Okay, the next statement. I told you. Oh, as a man who does not want to be told something, okay? You ain't my mama. All right. I told you that if you would go out there and do that this was going to happen. I told you this, didn't I? But you didn't listen. Nope. You just went on and did what you wanted to do. Oh, trigger. Now somebody's buttons are pushed. I don't need you to go off on me about this. Well, I'm just saying, I told you. I know you told me. I know this. Okay. We can laugh now, but it ain't a laughing matter when you in a heated discussion and somebody is telling you, yeah, I told you. Nobody wants to hear that. I told you so. Yeah, because what it does is it puts pride there, right? Now the person thinks they got the upper hand. See, if you would have just listened to me, maybe we wouldn't have these problems. See, because I told you. Lord Jesus. Here's another goodie. You're just like. Oh, this showed up some years back. Oh, the man, I know he was ready to crawl up under the table, because I don't want to be compared to any other woman. You see what I mean? And so some of these folks, they get a little bit besides themselves when they're arguing, and they want to start throwing, some comparison statements. Man, you're just like my ex. Oh, wait a minute. Why we got to go there? That's a low blow. So you're not going to get out of that one easily, especially if you're dealing with a mouthy kind of woman or man. Oh, so I am, huh? Oh, I'm just like, okay, all right, bet. Yeah, well, you just like, you know what? You just like your mama. Oh, now you want to talk about my mama. Oh, okay. All right. Well, you know what? And now we're going back and forth, back and forth. Is it really worth all that? I don't even know why I even got involved with you. I knew there was something about you. Man, you just like my cousin. My cousin's a player. Man, oh, you see? Oh boy. And one more. You know, you're really, oh gosh, you're overreacting, okay? You're just overreacting. It wasn't that serious. I mean, just because you saw me hug the guy, just because he gave me just a little peck on my cheek, I mean, yeah, okay, maybe it was more my neck, but still, I mean, you're really overreacting, okay? A lot of times when people accuse you of that sort of thing, it's because they know they're in the wrong and they know that you had every right to go off like you did, right? But they're going to try to do what? They're going to try to come up with this way to get you to doubt your what you saw, doubt your feelings, right? Cause you to just ignore everything that you know to be true. You're going to believe the lie. That's what I want you to believe. So if I accuse you of overreacting and I get you to doubt the way you truly feel about some things, you just might go along with my little program. And meanwhile, that might be a sign, right? That might be a sign that that woman or that man is cheating, but they don't want you to go down that pathway, right? What's up with the phone number? That's just my friend. I don't, you never told me about a friend named blah, blah, blah. Man, you just overreacting. You're so insecure. No, it's not about insecure, because the point is that if you really thought that our relationship was solid, you would never take a phone number and then just do what? What did you plan on doing with it? Nowadays, you got so many people passing around business cards and so forth, you see. That way it doesn't look so bad. Oh, well, this is my business contact. Yeah, sure. Well, this is my mentor. Or I'm mentoring this person. Yeah, okay. Well, you know, this person is really just a good friend. Yeah, okay, yeah, whatever. So you're overreacting. Nah, we're not buying into it. If you are truly overreacting, it could be because you do feel a bit insecure because of some other past arguments and some other things where they didn't make you feel secure. So I don't know what's going on. I know you hear possibly some noise in the background, but there's some planes circling around. But anyway, when you do see that these things are going on, just know, or you hear that these things are going on in your relationship, just know that you're just going to start an argument that's going to worsen, and you don't want to do that. Okay, so if there is some validity to what is going on, then by all means address the truth for what it is. But if there is nothing of the sort that would make one, go off the deep end, then yeah, you do have to question, is there possibly a personality disorder going on? Is this person somebody who I really want to remain in a relationship with? I mean, you see. But avoid, though, the phrases if you want the conversation to end swiftly, because these phrases right here, they're going to keep you in an argument with someone for a good 5, 10, 15, 20 some minutes more than what it should be, because that person is going to want to defend themselves. Okay, so if you say I'm overreacting, well, wait a minute, hold up. Before we get to the next part of this conversation, give me an opportunity to address that. Okay, I don't think I'm overreacting. Here's point A, point B, point C. Okay, that's how women operate. We're going to bring up some points. Okay, you're just like, okay, do you really want to go there? Okay, then we're going to have a little wordplay game. Well, if I'm just like so-and-so, then you just like so-and-so, you see. Now, you don't want to get into all of that. So keep that statement out your mouth. I told you. Okay, once again, you think that you're better than somebody? Is that why you feel like you got to say I told you? Okay, that's not going to build a bond. Okay, if anything, that's going to create division. Okay, and sometimes people will go off and talk to somebody else who doesn't feel like they're so self-important, self-righteous, and prideful, and whatever else that's going on with these I told you so types. And then, of course, the, ever popular I'm fine when you know you're really not fine. All that stress does is fester up in your body, and then eventually it comes out in some strange ways, okay? A lot of people have some chronic health issues because they just won't express themselves. They don't express themselves to their partners, to their family members, nothing. They want everybody to believe that they're fine, but meanwhile, you're spending all these hours not talking to people, okay? And something's wrong. You're going around pouting. You're coming up with some excuses as to why you can't be around certain people. You're not fine. So stop telling lies. Okay. And then we talked about you always do this. You always do that. Once again, that's another statement that's going to get some people in trouble because you're exaggerating. You know that person doesn't always do that. We don't always argue. We don't always have some difference of opinion. Now, maybe in their mind, they're probably always having an issue with you. And that might be a true statement to what is going on in their mind. But when evidence shows that this is not what's taking place on a regular basis, you know that person. If they can say that, they can possibly say some other stuff too that's inaccurate. Okay. So we don't receive that either. And, we talked about that one too, right? So you want to throw some dirt in somebody's lap because they're critical or because they want you to compromise or they want you to do something for them. I mean, that's wrong. Pulling up something from the past, all of it. A lot of times is, a lot of that is nothing more than a person who just doesn't want to do what's right. They've made up in their minds that if it's an inconvenience, if it's going to cost money, if it's going to be just any type of problem for them, they've got to flip the script on you because hopefully you'll get so frustrated and angry that you won't come and ask them to do anything else. Okay. That's what it ultimately boils down to. Lazy people love using, because they, and also prideful people and stubborn people because they don't like criticism. I mean, nobody does, but when there's an issue that needs to be dealt with, it needs to be dealt with. And sometimes it's not even anyone being critical. It's just, look, here's a responsibility that needs to be tended to. Are you willing to do it or not? Okay. Not throw sand in somebody's face. Okay. So, I mean, these are serious issues. They don't seem like they're serious, but they are. And once again, avoid the phrases. You see, I'm sorry, but what? There's no reason to put a but in there. If you're truly sorry, just indicate, I'm sorry. That's it, and here's what I'm going to do to make wrongs right. That's what you can add to that statement. But means, but I'm about to turn something on you. I'm about to turn it up. But means that, I'm going to pull out some stuff from the past on you. Do you really want that kind of conversation? You can solve an issue really quickly if you have an idea of how you're going to fix something before you even open up your mouth. You know what? These past weeks, months, years, whatever, I've really been treating you wrong and I'm sorry. And here's what I'm going to do. And that's it. Not, I'm sorry, but, if you would have never said or did. Okay. So, a lot of statements that can get you in trouble. But just go over some of this stuff in your head. The next time when you get into a discussion, you'll be hesitant about opening up your mouth on some of these statements and you might find yourself rewording some things. Do that. Okay. Well, blessings to you. Thank you, Jesus. Once again, sometimes messages aren't always going to show up in the form of scriptures, as you all very well know if you followed me for quite some time. Please do. Check out YouTube, NM Enterprise 7, other audios. Also, feel free to subscribe. Check the description box if you plan on giving. We do welcome donations. And also if there's anything of interest. Blessings to you.